I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Hey y'all, it's Kate from the Literary Apothecary, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another bi-weekly reading vlog. Now this week we're going to get back on track with things like normal. This is our bi-weekly reading vlog for the weeks of March 12th to the 25th. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now first I need to start this off with talking about some honorable mentions. Two books that I had finished during our last bi-weekly reading vlog and forgot to mention in them because I thought I'd already filmed a recording about them, and then when I went to edit the video it wasn't there. So a couple weeks ago I finished A Game of Thrones by George R. R. Martin, book 1 in the Song of Ice and Fire series. My review is already up for that, as well as my reading vlog for that. I absolutely loved this book so much. 5 out of 5 stars. I knew I was going to enjoy this book, but I didn't know I was going to love it as much as I did. It was written so well. I loved everything about it. As I said in my review, my favorite characters in book 1 include Ser Jorah Mormont, Dany, Daenerys, Arya, and Tyrion. They are my top 4 characters so far. I actually have just finished the second book, which I'll get to in just a minute. So in April, I'll be reading book 3. The other book that is an honorable mention this week that I forgot to mention in the last one is, of course, The Fifth Elephant by Terry Pratchett. This one I also gave 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I think this might be my favorite Discworld book so far that I've read. It was just so good. It was so funny. It was so heartwarming. It was tense at times. It was fantastic. And the way that Terry Pratchett uses his books and the Discworld humor to approach social topics is just unparalleled. So well done. So those are 2 books that I finished a couple weeks ago and somehow forgot to mention in my last reading vlog. So now let's talk about the books that I just finished this past week. We have The Bleeding Stone by Joseph John Lee. This book was a historical indigenous fantasy book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I loved this book so much. It gave me so much emotions, and just everything about it was so good. I will have by the time you see this video, there will be at least a 60-second review about this book, and talking a little bit about some of the things that I loved, so stay tuned for that. And then I finished Nightfall and Other Dangers. This was an arc of a horror short story collection, which, yes, you heard that right. I read horror willingly. I wasn't scared too much. Like, I was scared, but not too much. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars, mostly because some of the short stories I absolutely loved. Some just went over my head, did not work for me at all. And so it was kind of a mixed bag with the stories, but there was such a wide variety of stories that I loved it. And then the last book that I have finished so far is A Clash of Kings. That's book 2 in A Song of Ice and Fire, which I talked about just a minute ago. I gave that one 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, but not as much as the first book, A Game of Thrones. But I did enjoy the politicking more than I thought I would. There's a lot of politicking and moving different pieces to different parts and whatnot. I thought the kind of weird sex scenes and rape and sexual assault and all of that kind of thing was a little much for me in this book. It felt like it was a little bit too much. Some of it wasn't needed to move the plot along or get to know a character really, and so it felt like a little bit much, and that's why I gave it 4.5 and not 5 stars. So then my current reads this weekend, I will be finishing up hopefully the Trials of Ashmount. I have John Palladino on my channel this Sunday the 19th, so maybe hopefully finish it by then, but at least make good progress. I'll also be finishing up The Kingdom of Liars this weekend, which was my patron pick of the book month for February, and this is one of those books that I just don't want to end. It's so good, y'all. I can't wait to talk to y'all about it. Also, you know, by the end of next weekend, by the time you see this video, I will have had to have finished The Dragon Reborn for our Wheel of Time live show. This is the third book in the Wheel of Time series, and although I'm enjoying it and I do want to continue, this is probably my least favorite out of the three so far. And then this weekend I will be starting Moon Deeds by Palmer Pickering, which is, Palmer is going to be on my live show next weekend on the 26th for our Self-Pub Sundays. Palmer was kind enough to send me 3 of her books. I know originally when I talked about my March TBR, I said I was going to read Heliotrope, which is the standalone, but now that this month is coming along, it's going a lot slower than I expected, and Moon Deeds is book 1 in her fantasy series and a little bit shorter than Heliotrope. I think it's like 150, 200 pages shorter. It's still a thick book. It's like 500 some pages, but Heliotrope was like 700 some pages, and I knew there was no way in heck I was going to get that done by the live show. So I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to get Moon Deeds done, so I will have more stuff to talk to Palmer about on the 26th. So that's it for now, and I will check in with y'all again very soon. Bye. So I've got a quick check-in for you all now. I have finished The Kingdom of Liars by Nick Martell. I love this book so much. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was a fantastic read. The writing style was so easy to read. Addictive. I didn't want to stop reading it, but I didn't want the book to end also because the story was absolutely fantastic. I loved it so much. I've put book 2, The Two-Faced Queen, on my April TBR. So once I finished The Kingdom of Liars, I moved on to Moon Deeds by Palmer Pickering, which I'm hoping to get finished by the end of this week, by the time I have Palmer on my channel on Sunday, but we'll see. I am also hoping to finish the Trials of Ashmount today. I had a fantastic discussion with John Palladino yesterday. I will link that in the description below. And then I will be also finishing up The Dragon Reborn this week for our live show on Saturday. And who knows where the wind may take us. So that's it for now, and I'll check in with y'all again soon. Bye. Hey y'all, so one last check-in for this week. First and foremost, I want to say hello and welcome to some of our new subscribers. We have Linda Jackson, especially. Welcome, 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 and thank you guys so much for subscribing, because it really means the world to me. Without you, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. So thank you, thank you, thank you for subscribing. So yesterday I finished another book, The Trials of Ashmount by John Palladino. This book was so good. I had John on my channel last weekend for our Self-Pub Sunday. I will link that in the description below. What a fantastic book. Leslie, my bestie at the Nerdy Narrative, she has said that this book is the grimdarkest grimdark book out of all of the grimdark books. It's so dark, so grimdark, but I absolutely loved it. It matched my mood for this month perfectly. I've been in a rather grumpy, stressed mood lately, kind of the world annoys me type of mood. This book matched it perfectly. It was just weirdly just what I needed for this month. So I gave that one obviously 5 out of 5 stars, and I thought it was absolutely well done. This weekend I will be finishing up The Dragon Reborn for our live show on Saturday. I will be reading Moon Deeds by Palmer Pickering, who was supposed to be on my channel this weekend, but we had to postpone it to a different time. I'm reading Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which is my patron pick of the month for March. And I've just started reading Night Watch by Terry Pratchett, the next book in the City Watch series. I am enjoying everything I'm reading right now, and I can't wait to talk to y'all about it when I've got a little bit more to mention. So that's it for now. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite reading moment from the past 2 weeks? What are you looking forward to reading the most next week? As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. Keep reading, and I love y'all to the moon and back. Bye.